Call this July 15th Jackson County Commission work session to order. Roll call.
District 1.
Present.
District 2.
Present.
District 3. District 4.
Present.
Mr. Miller is out of town this evening. Have our invocation by Mr. Porter and our pledge by Mr. Little. The first item is the approval of the agenda. We have two items on the agenda. Are there any changes before we proceed? Okay, if there are no changes, entertain a motion to approve the agenda with those items.
So moved.
Have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Okay. Next item, public comment from citizens. Mr. Carlton?
Yes. I need to stand up. Yeah, I want to address this problem to District 1. I live on the highway in 694. The state come in, or the county, and dug up a perfectly good road. It was a blacktop. And just left a gravel road. And they came back in, repaving it, and they stopped up there about 200 yards from my house, and they said they run out of money there. And they told me when they dug up the blacktop, they was going to put in, pave the road all the way down 694. He said they had appropriated the paving. But they stopped at the top of the hill about 200 yards from my house, which is on 694, and went the other way, went down 695. And I got pictures of it. I'm living on the gravel road now, and I did have a blacktop. 694 and 95 over dead end.
I spoke with you a little bit earlier about it, and
Okay.
we'll think that Mr. Guffey's district will have to take a look and see what the plans on it were. Like I said, I was out there last week and saw where they did do 694. And I'm not sure what the plans are with 695.
Well, somebody needs to look at it, because they put a speed hump about 20 yards from the end of the road. You don't need a speed hump where you're going to have to stop. You have to run over something. It's just a disgrace for a road. I mean, and it's a highway, because it'd be just like painting a car and sanding it without taking the dents out. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Standard for us to stop before the end of the road when the contractor pays it.
No, we always pave up to where we've always maintained it. Unless there's some kind of dislocation. Is yours the one where 694 goes all the way down? 695 turns to the left.
Yeah, they went left instead of right.
Yeah. I mean, 60, we'll go pave 694 and 695.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the discussion items for the commission. And the first item is regarding the dangerous animal ordinance. A couple of things very quickly on this. First item on it, I would like to say that we are planning a couple of other public hearings. We're on the 30th of this month in Dutton. We will have our district community meeting on the 30th. At the end of that meeting, we'll have a discussion on this dangerous animal ordinance for anybody that would like to attend that. So I hope that that will be attended, and more information, or this same information will be available there. So if there's anybody else that's interested, that'll be available to them. And we'll set the date for one, if not two more, public hearings on this throughout the county, so that folks throughout the county have the opportunity to see what it is that we're looking at and give any input to the process. And of course, the ordinance is available at the commission office at any time. We can email it, or if you want to come by, we can even pick up a copy of it. So if the press would note that. So with that, I'd like to ask Mr. Porter to kind of outline the basics of what this dangerous animal ordinance presents, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For those of you who have been interested in this for some period of time, there have been some revisions since the last commission considered the same issue. there were some particular points that the prior commission wanted in this ordinance that have been taken out. Dealing with cruelty to animals and those kind of things. Those are not in here. This is solely dealing with dangerous animals. And in fact, we changed the title. It was originally Animal Control Ordinance. And the name caused a lot of people concern because they thought that the commission was trying to control their animals. So we changed the name to truly reflect what it really is, and that is a dangerous animal ordinance. It deals solely with dangerous animals. If you have a copy, or if you get a copy of it, you can read what a dangerous animal is. And I'm not going to read it to you because you can read as well as I can. But for this ordinance to take effect, there has to be a report that an animal has caused basically injury or harm to a person or other animals. And then that starts the process. Right now, the Sheriff's Department, except under very limited circumstances, and the Animal Control Officer does not have any authority to investigate these things. So what this ordinance will do, if it's adopted by the Commission, will give the Sheriff's Department or the Animal Control Animal Control Officer the authority to investigate whether or not the animal is truly dangerous or not. If the law enforcement officer or the animal control officer determines that there is some basis for the complaint that the animal is a dangerous animal, that begins then the legal process. This ordinance, as we've got it written, is 9 pages long. The great majority of it, other than the definitions, would take up several pages. Other than that, the balance of it, the majority of the provisions, is to protect the animal owner so that their animal is not taken from them or destroyed without somebody making a final determination, that is the court, making a final determination that the animal was in fact dangerous. So that is really what this ordinance is about. In general, the process would be if you are a citizen and you have been attacked by an animal, or your dogs or other animals have been attacked by a dog, and you make that report to the Sheriff's Department or to the Animal Control Officer, then they have a chance to go and talk to you and talk to the animal owner to determine what the circumstances are. Once that's done, if the law enforcement officers determine that there's probable cause that the animal is dangerous, then it is referred to the court, for the court to make that determination, and the animal owner would have ample opportunity to come in and present their side of the case as to why the animal is not dangerous. The person either who was injured or who has an animal that was injured has a right to come in and present their side to the court to determine, to have the animal declared dangerous. And then it's up to the court how that is handled. If the animal is considered and found by the court to be dangerous and has caused physical injury to a human, then, or substantial injury to a human, then the animal can be destroyed by the court, by order of the court. If, on the other hand, the animal is determined to be dangerous but has not caused serious physical injury to a human, then there are provisions wherein the animal owner must control the animal so that it's not loose running at large. So those are the two possible outcomes, and obviously the court may determine that the animal is not dangerous at all, and that would be the end of it. So those are the general provisions. A lot of what's in here is, as I said, the due process provisions to make sure that your animal or you are not imposed upon unduly without due process of law. So that's what it's about. It's all about dangerous animals. It doesn't have anything to do, doesn't restrict animals running at large in the county. That's not what this is about, unless they're dangerous. If they're dangerous, then there are provisions. But if you have a dog that roams at your property and your neighbor's property and doesn't cause any harm, that does not control this. So that's what it's all about. And if you haven't gotten a copy of the ordinance, please get one so that you can read it. It's, as I say, it's fairly long, but it's not, I don't think it's hard, too hard to understand. So,
Thank you, sir. From the sheriff's department, do you have anything on principal?
You covered it pretty well, but let me just say this. If 3 years ago I was sitting where you're sitting, I would be sitting there going, surely this doesn't come up very often. Surely it doesn't. But let me tell you, it does. And this man can attest to that. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about some of the calls he answers. Because it's at least every day or every other day we get a call about some nuisance, some dangerous animal. You know, we don't want to control your animal. We do not want to control your animal. But we do want to be able to protect our citizens when they call and say, this animal is killing my cows, this animal is killing my goats, this animal is killing my chickens, my cats, my dogs, or biting my children. Right now, our answer pretty much is, does it have a rabies shot? Yes. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. You can sue that person, and you can hope that the courts will give you some money to take care of your losses that you have. What this ordinance does, it gives us a little bit of authority to find out if this animal is dangerous, to hold that animal if the court determines it's dangerous, to hold it and find out just how dangerous it is. And that's really all that we're asking for. Shane, you want to follow up on some of the calls you get on these things?
I had 5 calls last week, 5 different dog bites. 3 of them had bit before. 2 of them had bit 3 times before. This was the 4th bite. They're taking care of them the vet. They've got the rabies shots. If they've got the rabies shots, the way the law reads, I can't even take, all I can do is tell you, you have to quarantine it on your property. In the 10th day, you got to carry it to the vet, give it a clean bill of health. If it does not have its rabies shot, all thing I can do is tell you, hey, you got to carry it to a vet, let a vet know. Unless, if they don't go to the hospital, emergency room, or the doctor, the health department don't usually know about it unless I call. But when I call them, Ms. Nancy Webb usually gets in touch with them, and she will tell them, hey, this is what you got to do. That's the only way that I've been able to get the authority to get a dog. Is kind of her get that paper and her tell me, hey, they're not complying when they go get it. Like I say, they had the rabies shots, they quarantined them. One of them didn't have the rabies shots, they put it up at the vet, cost them $100. The dog was bit 2 people before this was the 3rd bite. The dog was still running loose. You know, and the only way they can get anything from it, you can do anything about it, as far as your medical bills, would be, go through the civil court. I get calls all the time, hey, this dog's running my goats, I'm gonna shoot him. Well, 2 months later, you get a call from whoever on this dog, hey, I'm gonna file animal cruelty because he shot my dog. And when you get out there, you find out that the dog was killing his goat, but he didn't want to go through the civil process, so he took it to his own hand and shot it. Next thing you know, they come in here and talk to the DA, sign a warrant on him, and I'm out there to arrest whoever shot the dog. I hate telling somebody, especially somebody, I've got kids, I hate telling somebody that's got kids like I had to tell this lady in Stevenson the other day, there's nothing, I can't get that done after, told her kid. I think that kid had to have 8 or 10 stitches on the leg. It was a teenage boy. He was walking down the road and just run out of the bushes and got him. I would just like to have something saying that I have the authority. If that dog attacks you and it's attacked somebody before, I can go get it and hold it at the shelter until the judge. But I don't want to make that call. But I want to be able to pick it up and hold it so somebody else can make that call.
Before we begin with that, Mr. Guthrie, do you have anything to proceed? Mr. Benjamin?
Folks, we're shaking into it. This is not a done deal. We're going to have several meetings, and I've been approached by several people wanting something. I was elected to serve as citizens in Jackson County, and that's what I'm trying to do. I want input. Any questions you have, we'll see what this ordinance says about your question, and that's what I want to address. I appreciate everybody coming.
Mr. Levy?